Who taught you how to rap?
Well, I spent some time working at McDonald's, and part of like their training is like you gotta take the things and you gotta like fold them the right way, you gotta wrap them the right way. So like I didn't last very long, as you could tell. I just wasn't. I wasn't. It wasn't for me. Like it wasn't for me. It's not for everybody. I'm currently jobless outside professional wrestling, so I really hope that this takes off because the cardboard box like just isn't keeping me insulated at night anymore.
You need to put your priorities in.
You think I should go back to McDonald's?
No.
You think Ronald will take me back? Ronald.
Grimace.
Yeah. Well, Grimace is working with the Mets now. So do you think I could get a job with the Mets?
Probably
get a good job with
probably be in the starting lineup for the Mets.
Starting lineup for the Mets? I'll take that.
I don't think that's gonna work.
You don't think that's gonna? Why don't you think it's gonna work?
I don't think it's gonna work. Anyway.
Now's not the time. Now's not the time. Go back to your mom's uterus.
I don't know what's going on, but Amity's having a breakdown.
I'm sorry, Papa Nick. Right now,
It's okay. I'm gonna leave. Leave. Oh, Tiffany sends her regards. All right. So Tiffany Avatar just lost the Goddesses of War championship, and I heard she went to Lucky Leo's to sulk in the candy stuff. So let's go see how she's going. What the hell? Tiffany, are you all right, Tiffany?
Is that my buddy?
What happened? You lost the title.
She poisoned my lollipop, smashed me over the head with it. I don't have my title anymore, buddy. I can't go home. I can't go to Candyland. I don't know what to do. I'm just gonna lay here, okay?
Oh, okay. All right, Tiff. All right. Man, that Amity, she's really tough. Wait, what? What the hell?
I just want to say that it was super rude of you to walk away from me early.
Talking to the New York State champion, you're going to have to pay up.
Do you take Kale?
Dude, goodbye. Whipwreck, Cation, doesn't matter.
We'll see what happens, but it looks like we have a special guest.
Get my earplugs on.
No.
You was looking for Tina, and then you talk about people.
Dominate tonight, all right? The Dirty Deeds, they got nothing.
We're now the new Starlet champion. What's going on?
Hi, I am fearless princess, so why not team up?
All right, now just announced by Mr. Joel Maximo for February.
The show is called The Shadow Band, and I was like, that's kind of...
Hold on. Let me speak. Okay?
But today I got a very special guest. I got the great...
Welcome everybody to Beyond the Barricade. I am your host Papa Dank, and today I have a very special guest because we got a very special event coming up this Saturday night. Constant Pro Wrestling will be this Saturday. Now let me bring to you the one, the only Archadia. What's up, brother?
Nothing much. How are you?
I'm doing great tonight. It's just hot.
Yeah, it's pretty. This is actually the hottest room in the house. So
Is
I'm
it?
excited to be here.
I'm like in a boiler, bro.
Yeah.
Now, as we saw in some previews earlier, the unhinged Amity LeVay will be at Constant this Saturday. You guys better have some extra security on tap. That's all I'm going to say.
Yeah, I actually just made a phone call to get some extra security. It has nothing to do with Amity, I promise. It just has to do with just wanting there to be extra security, but it's going to come in handy with Amity around.
It's definitely going to come in handy. Now, she is facing the one and only Valentina Vasquez this Saturday night at 7 p.m. at the Sayreville High School in Parlin, New Jersey. Now, she is the Goddesses of War champion, and this is a Goddesses of War championship match against Valentina, man. So tell me how this might play out.
So Amity, I guess, is new to winning this championship, and she's eager to defend it. So talking to Titan management and the administration there, We are kind of partner companies, and I think the best way to work in a situation like that is display the talent that they have there.
Right.
And Amity being their champion is a great way to show their how much talent there is over there.
Right, man. Now Valentina's no spring chicken, man. She's a vet, man. She's kicking butt all over the Northeast, man.
Yeah, I can remember Valentina back when she was training in CZW and how promising her career started out and the trajectory she's been on so far. And I think this will be a great match for her to kind of reinvigorate her career and kind of give her the ability to not only show people what she can do, but have a chance to win some championship gold at the same time.
100%. I'm excited for that match, and I can't wait to hear the outcome of it. That'll be great. All right, let's go into this match. Mr. Anthony Gangone, Dr. Sleep. Mr. Sean over there, McManus. Wow, Dr. Sleep, man, he's pretty intense, Dr. Sleep.
Yeah, so Dr. Sleep's he's been on a tear, and I think it's a good test for both of them. So Sean McNellis is someone that might be rather unknown to your average independent wrestling fan or even Titan Wrestling's fans. But
Right.
My home, where I spent most of my career was UWA Elite, and Sean has been the backbone of UWA Elite since it started. He has won their championship 3 times. He's held it for a very long time, and he's just a big match type of guy where he seems to rise to the occasion and every chance he gets, and to be able to be. I mean, I just talked to him today. For him to be in the ring with someone like Anthony Gangone, who's been around wrestling the world's best, I think he's ready for that challenge, and I hope that Anthony Gangone is not, for lack of a better word, sleeping on his competition, because I really feel like it's going to be a down to the wire type match.
And I know Dr. Sleep very well, and he's intense everywhere he goes, man. I've seen him in a lot of different federations.
Yeah. Well, I don't know if you know anything about Constant Wrestling and how we started. We had a web series called The Quest, where we released 7 episodes where we kind of rated our wrestlers not just on their wins and losses, but on their abilities and their efficiency in the ring. So control time, submission time, the levels of the strikes and moves that they're using. And Anthony Gangone was the winner of our first season of The Quest. So he's no stranger to us and to what we've been doing for the last couple of years. And we're excited to see him, flourish in this scenario as well.
Now, is this the first live event for you guys?
Yeah, so this is our debut show. We've done The Quest was filmed by the grace of all of the promoters that we have been able to become friends with. The partners that me and my partner TJ Blade, who is also a wrestler, we kind of called in every favor we had, and we were put on pre-shows. So Titan pre-shows, NFW pre-shows. So I don't know if you know Northern Fed of Wrestling. We were on Sean Henderson Presents pre-show, and we also were on UWA Elite when they ran the Middlesex County Fair and their pre-show, the finals being taped at one of their live events. So it turned out to be very well. We tried to. It was an experimental thing, and to me, it worked out great. It got across what we wanted to get across, and most of all, it showed how dominant Dr. Sleep Anthony Gangone can be.
100%, man. Now, in the main poster that I have, Jay Lethal will be in action as well.
Yeah, so Jay Lethal is a homegrown talent, Jersey All-Pro Wrestling. Grew up in Elizabeth, went to Elizabeth High School. And I've known and been friends with Jay Lethal for a very long time, just about 20 years at this point. And it doesn't matter how big he gets and how many promotions he's been on and how many big names he's in the ring with.
Right.
He's always quick to remember the friendships that he made along the way, and we are absolutely blessed and honored to be able to have what I consider top 5 performer in the world, Jay Lethal, to be on our show. Originally, as the poster that you're showing right now, originally scheduled against Jordan Oliver. Jordan tore his ACL a couple weeks ago.
Tough injury, man.
Yeah, Jordan's a really close personal friend of mine, and the whole idea behind the show, honestly, was to kind of showcase Jordan in that greater light by giving him some top level talent like Jay Lethal to work with.
Right.
And it was a striking blow to not only us professionally as we're trying to promote a show, but also personally because Jordan's a great friend and I just want to see him succeed.
Wow, man! How long is he expected to be out?
So ACLs usually are 9 to 12 months depending on the recovery time. So he's probably going to be out close to a year, which is tough. I don't know. Can you hear me? Because I know my headphones are.
I can hear you.
I know. Since he's been 16 years old, which is 9 years ago when he first started, he hasn't really taken a break at all. So this is kind of mentally tough for him to be able to sit back and not really be grinding the way he likes to wrestle. He's 2-3 shows a weekend for the last 9 years. So more than just our show. I'm sad for Jordan to be able to be in the 100%. Position that he's in.
We wish him a speedy recovery for sure.
Absolutely.
100%. Now it was just announced because San Diego's going on.
Right.
So Fig Heel announced the new Jay Lethal figure that's coming out.
Look at that.
So I thought that'd be important to show,
Yeah. A little black machismo. I like the
I love it.
I love the tassels. I love the whole gear. Like, that's amazing. That's that hat. I don't know where that hat is from though.
I threw you off with this one. You weren't expecting this.
Yeah. Definitely not.
Now I too have met Jay Lethal at a show he was at out here in New Jersey, and he's such a nice guy too. Like, very approachable.
I think the thing about Jay is that he's never lost touch with the love of the sport and the love of being around the people that make the sport great. He is infectiously funny to the point where it's impossible to be around him and not have at least one moment of laughter to the point where you can't breathe. It's just and I've known him for 20 years, so imagine the laughs that I've had over the years. He's just one of the best and most amazing and most talented people that I've ever met my entire life.
100%. I had a great experience with him too, so I'm glad he'll be out here in New Jersey wrestling. I got a message from Ryan Peterson. We can't pull it up because it's on Instagram, but it says, "Archadia, my man, been a long time since Ace. Congrats on a stacked card."
Thanks. I appreciate it. Ryan Peterson is definitely one of the most kind people that I came across.
100%. I love that guy.
Ace is definitely one of those places that, seems like home when you get there, and they have a family type atmosphere. So, all the people that I've ever met at Ace American Championship Entertainment have always been, 100, just amazing people.
Yeah. I was there the night when Jay was there. I don't know if you were there that night.
No, I think it was the hero celebration. I think for Mike Morgan's son, probably.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, yep. That's I remember. I think I was actually taking time off from wrestling at that point. I know I had been in contact with them and talked to them because Mike Morgan, who runs Ace, has always been kind of a close friend, and I do remember them promoting that show. I just had stepped away from active competition at that time.
Okay. All right. Let's pull up the next match I got. It's Matt Vertigo versus, I hope I'm saying it, Junie Underwood versus Sean Smith.
Yeah. So
tell me about this match.
This match came about because of the changes to other matches. So when Jordan got hurt, it was supposed to be Sean Smith, Griffin McCoy, and Pat Dynamite in a 3-way match. And then when we lost Jordan to the ACL injury, we were searching for a replacement for Jordan. We had we had secured a replacement for Jordan, but then we started thinking, why would we, waste two amazingly talented people on wrestling each other when we can kind of spread the love a little bit? So we took
Okay.
Pat Dynamite out of the three-way, and we put him with someone else, and we took Griffin McCoy out of the three-way and put him up with Jay Lethal. And now it gave us the opportunity to move people around. Junie Underwood is someone, when I first started building this show, I had heard multiple people recommend and say, you got to get Junie on your show. He's trained by Mike Bailey,
Okay.
and similar style, and very underrated. I feel like starting to break out a little bit. And I think that's what the point of this match, when I was trying to come up with something, is that all three of these guys are just on that cusp of, they need the push of someone finding them, seeing them work in a high level match, and then give them that big break. Sean Smith used to wrestle under the name Rocket. Now he's under Too Smooth Sean Smith. I think he can do things in the ring that no one else can do. He's unbelievably talented. Junie Underwood, unbelievably talented. And Matt Vertigo has been someone that I've been around for the last 10, 12 years. And again, just one of those, he's 6'5", 6'4", been spending a lot of time in the gym, built his physique up, and just is on an unstoppable force. And the things that he can do at the size that he's at, I don't think many people can do that. So I think people are going to get really surprised with this match. I think that you're going to come for Jay Lethal, you're going to come for Mike Bailey, and then you're going to be really impressed by this match.
Awesome. All right.
The three guys. There they
The
are.
three refs. Now I know one of them. I know SP.
Yep. So SP Anderson actually has been around for as long as I've been around.
She's been
I made my pro wrestling debut in March of 2000. So it's coming up on 24 years, or it's been 24 years. And this March coming up will be 25, and I can remember SP as far back as as that, as far back as I could think of my beginnings in the wrestling business. I know that SP was there for that. I was just reminiscing, actually going through some of my old photos, and I saw a very young SP Anderson refereeing some of my matches in 04, 05. So,
oh man.
yeah, so that's good. The other guy on the bottom right, if you're looking at the screen, is the bottom right, is Rich George again. Where I started down in South Jersey, he was one of the mainstay refs. He hasn't really been around a lot lately, but he's close personal friend. I think that he does a great job, and why not surround yourself with people that you love. So speaking of that, at the top is Ryan T. Ryan T happens to be a Sayreville High School graduate.
Oh wow.
And grew up in the same town as me. I knew his older brother when I was in elementary school. Met Ryan when he was probably 10, 11, 12 years old. So it's just kind of strange how everything goes full circle, where you're able to, at 40 years old for me, run a wrestling show and use the guys that you knew when you were 12 years old.
All right. Now it's great that you showcase the refs like that. That's awesome. That's good stuff, man. Oh, Ryan's got more stuff to say, man. My favorite is your series with Gang going for the Diamond Division title. Just saying.
Yeah, it was. We had me and Gango had a 3-match series. I think it was 2017, early 2017, and it's one of those amazing things that you do in your career that no one ever saw. It's like there's a song lyric that I relate to, and it's escaping my brain who it is that sang it, but I'm sitting in my room writing songs that no one will ever hear. And I feel like sometimes in independent wrestling, you tell such a good story and you have such good matches, and it's only for the 20 to 25 people that show up. And you're just like, wow, man, it was such a good story. I just wish there was more people to see it. And I think that plays into a lot of why I wanted to get into it on this side of things.
The business.
Because I feel like there is a story that I have to tell. And I feel like being able to do it this way, starting off in my hometown, and help, because it is a fundraiser for two of the youth organizations in town. So when people do show up, not only are they going to see great action, but they can also have the opportunity to support, two youth programs in town. So it's kind of a double whammy for me, being able to support the town that I grew up in, that I live in, and also, put on a great product at the same time. I think that all of those things speaks to who I am as a person. So I'm glad that I've been able to do that.
100%, man. Yeah, you love the business, and the business is awesome. We all love it. That's why we're here right now.
Yeah, and I think someone had said something to me about, it's a testament to me as a person, the card that I've been able to assemble, because I had mentioned it to other people that this card is more of a selfish way for me to just surround myself with the people that I like to be around.
Right.
The way I built the card was not really with the crowd in mind as much as it is with my own likes and dislikes in mind. And I kind of hope that no one asks me questions during the show so I can sit back and just watch it.
I think they're gonna fall in love with the matches you put together, so that's great. And I see Brandon Kirk will be there as well.
Yeah, Brandon Kirk. He's actually I saw him post. He's on 2 shows that night. He's going to be up in ETU later in the evening, but he'll be on our show early on, because again, Brandon Kirk grew up in Sayreville. He's a Sayreville guy. His parents are involved in Sayreville organizations, and that's not how I met him. I met him through wrestling, but it's just weird to me that you run into these people that are from your same hometown, and you've been able to, yeah. So, and he even mentioned it in the promo that he filmed, that
did he?
You're gonna get the best version of him, because I don't know if you know this, but Sayreville is Brandon Kirk's hometown. So I'm excited to see Brandon in an element, because I feel like he's always showcased on those bigger indies doing light tubes and tables and deathmatch. And listen, deathmatch wrestling has its place, and a lot of people love it.
His wife too. She does the same thing.
Oh yeah, unbelievable. And they are both unbelievable at what they do.
Right.
I just want people to know how great of a wrestler Brandon Kirk is, not just a performer in other aspects of the sport. Like,
right.
The dude is fast and explosive and technical, and I don't think people really realize that about him. And I hope that he's able to showcase that.
100%. Homicide will also be in the building.
And what's crazy about this is that he actually spoke about his feelings and thoughts. If you check out Constant Wrestling on Instagram, Homicide actually posted a video about this show, which he never does about any shows that he's on.
I've never seen him post anything. Yeah.
Never. So I don't even think I have the words to explain how much of an honor it is to have him do that. But again, it's another one of those guys that I've known for 20 years. So I was 20 years old when I broke into Jersey All Pro Wrestling. The first conversation I ever had with Homicide, I used to smoke cigarettes when I was young because I thought I was cool. And I was sitting out in front of a building smoking a cigarette, and Homicide walks by and goes, "If I ever wrestle you, I'm going to make you throw up." So initially, you could just the respect that he has and the standard that he has for the wrestling business is unmatched for me in this area. I think that Homicide gets a lot of credit for what he's done, but even that credit is not enough. To me, there's not a person wrestling today, and we can go even as far as the top levels of wrestling, that hasn't been touched by Homicide's influence in some way. And even if it's second hand, third hand, whatever, it doesn't matter to me. Homicide's been around so long and been so many places and been at the top levels of so many promotions that there isn't a single person I can think of that hasn't been influenced by his career at all. You talk about Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn and and CM Punk. Like these guys all respect Homicide to the levels that are like even Seth Rollins. These guys look at Homicide as, that's the standard before they got to where they got to. So again, for us to be able to have him on our show and be able to be in our locker room is something that I will always be grateful for.
Now, you want to talk about some of the other matches that are happening that night?
Sure. So top right is actually a change we had to make. KTB actually pulled off the show. He's dealing with some medical issues.
Okay.
So Charles Mason is actually going to be wrestling Kwesi Asante, and I'm not sure if you're familiar with him. I happened to a couple weeks ago stop by the Dropkick Depression show that is ran by Jeff Cannonball and Tarek Calloway, and that is where I saw him for the very first time, and he just stood out. He stood out, and me and my partner had been talking about trying to find a way to get him on the show in some capacity. So we reached out. We wanted him to get into the wild card match just to get him on the show. And then when KTB pulled off, we couldn't have scripted it any better that that spot was open, because I feel like it's a perfect opportunity to showcase someone like Kwesi, who is new to the business but has a lot to give, and I'm excited to see what he does.
That is awesome. Now let's go into a little bit of your history for a little bit. How did you fall in love with wrestling?
So wrestling in general, I mean, has always been a part of my life. My mom always talks about stories of my grandmother. My mom's side of the family grew up near Albany, New York. So she tells stories about going to the old Pepsi Center, which is the Knickerbocker Arena back then. It was the host of the 1992 Royal Rumble, the one where Ric Flair wins the title. I was actually present for that as a 9-year-old, and I feel like that was one of the major moments. I just remember. So it was me, my brother, my sister, my dad, my uncle. We were there, and I just remember leaving the building, and it was just such a buzz of people chanting Ric Flair, people chanting Psycho Sid,
Oh
or
man, I bet.
Sid Justice, people chanting Hulk Hogan and yelling at each other about it. And I remember as a 9-year-old being so tiny and looking up at these people, and they were just so like passionate about the people that they, were getting behind, that I just fell in love with it. My earliest memories of wrestling is, my dad bringing us to MSG to watch some of the house shows that they ran there. But yeah, as far back as I can remember, we've always been a family that it was a part of it, whether it be my aunts, uncles, or my mom and dad. It's just, there's nothing like it. There's absolutely nothing in the world like it.
There is nothing like it, and like you said, the people you meet along the way, amazing. I've met so many great people. I'm sure you have as well, obviously.
Oh yeah.
But it is a family, 100%. I should agree, right?
Yeah, oh yeah, of course. I think, and as with every family, sometimes you don't get along with everyone.
Yeah.
But 100%. Overall, I mean, you can just look at the card that I've built, and you can see that those are the people that that's my family. Those are the people that I bonded with, whether it be early on in my career at 20 years old, 18 years old, or whether it be now as a 40-year-old, meeting for the very first time and kind of getting that gist from them that they're in it for the same reasons that I'm in it for.
Just watch out for that Amity LeVay. She likes to pull out pliers on people. I'm just saying, it's happened to me.
I'll make sure I steer clear.
She's definitely one of the top talent, and I 100% support her. And she just did a vigil for all her victims.
And that's the thing. That's the thing about wrestling that you're going to get. You're going to get people who are eccentric. Like an Amity LeVay that is scares you to death, but also so talented that makes you want to enjoy it. So that's the thing about wrestling is There's some
100%.
creepy, talented individuals.
That there is. Like Dr. Sleep as well.
Like Doctor Sleep, 100%. Same thing with the root of all evil, Charles Mason on the show. Same thing. Who knows what that guy is into on his own time, but God, is it exciting to watch him wrestle.
Now, which match are you excited for the most? As
Um,
personally.
okay, so personally, I think that I grew up in Jersey All Pro Wrestling. It's where I got my big start.
Mhm.
And anyone that knows me through wrestling probably knows me from the time that I spent at Jersey All Pro Wrestling. So to be able to have some sort of tribute to them, it has been more meaningful than the other matches. I think each match individually has sentimental value to me,
Mhm.
depending on whether or not the people in it or just how much I'm going to enjoy it. But I think most of all, being able to pay tribute to Jersey All Pro Wrestling, especially with Homicide and Azrael and Steve Mack and guys that have been through Jersey All Pro Wrestling and been there since the beginning. I think that's probably going to be my favorite one to watch. And I think it's such a diverse group that's in
Yeah,
that
I
match.
see that.
Ron Voyage is in there. He's always going to be a blast and have a party. Jeff Cannonball is in there. He's known for, um, you know, if your furniture isn't bolted down, it's going to be used in the match. Homicide's in there. He's one of the greatest performers of all time,
Yeah.
and so I'm excited to see what the mixed group that has been put together for that match is going to do.
All right, now let's look into the. Well, besides being at the event this Saturday night, will they be able to see this online anywhere in the future?
So we had dabbled in the idea of trying to live stream. I think for our first show, we kind of want to get through with as few bugs as possible.
Okay.
And adding live streaming to it kind of gave us the impression that it may be too much for us to handle with our first show.
Okay.
So we are going to produce the show. We are going to add, production value to it, and then we are going to release it. We just haven't decided where specifically, whether it be YouTube,
Right.
whether it be one of the wrestling streaming services that are available. We haven't really decided on that yet, but we're going to produce it on our own. Cut it up, add graphics,
Right.
add videos and stuff, and then we'll see where it goes from there.
Awesome. Let everybody know who's going to be. I assume you're going to have a commentary team there.
So at
let's-
we're not going to have a live commentary team there.
Right. They're going to dub it.
Right, we're probably gonna do it in post production.
Okay.
I commentated the Quest with Wade Kruger, but Wade Kruger happens to be wrestling in the Jersey All Pro Wrestling wild card match, so it might be tough for him to commentate his own stuff.
Right.
So I've reached out to Ray Sanchez from the Respect the Craft podcast, and we're probably gonna get together at some point, and that'll be the crew. I think. I've also reached out to a few other people, but nothing is set in stone as far as what we're going to do yet.
I know Ray's done a bunch of commentary all over, so
yeah. And again, it's
tough.
When we were talking about family and the wrestling business, I've known Ray Sanchez for maybe 4 or 5 months, and the guy feels like family already. So
good stuff, man. Man, it sounds like it's going to be a great event this Saturday night. Make sure everybody goes to Constant Pro Wrestling to get their tickets for Saturday, man.
It's still surreal. I'm not a businessman, so it's tough for me to sell things. I think the show sells itself.
You have a team too to help you sell.
Yeah. Well, I mean, and it wouldn't be possible without people like you who are constantly pushing the business. Getting the word out to people. I've seen a lot of your stuff, and honestly, like it makes me happy knowing that there are people like you out there that push and promote good things that they see. And we didn't know each other before we did this, and for you for you to be able to have me on and
Yeah.
hear my vision and my voice in professional wrestling, it means a lot to have that ability.
I love it, and I was planning on being there Saturday because Billy invited me, but
Right.
because of my work schedule, I won't be able to make because I'm working late. But I will be making to a future show, 100%.
Absolutely, and
All right.
we will keep everyone up to date on our social media pages about what we are planning to do in the future. Hopefully, depending on how this goes, it started off as let's do the best show that we possibly can do, and then we'll figure out what happens from there.
And I've been hearing buzz about it, so you're doing something right, Arcadia.
Good, and I appreciate that. I think that's the scariest part about jumping into this is wondering if people are going to enjoy it. So,
100%. And
I'm
now
excited.
we'll have you back on, and we'll discuss the next card when the next
Can't
show
wait.
is on. And man, I'm pumped, and I can't wait to be at the next one. I really wanted to come this Saturday, but unfortunately, you got to work.
Yeah, for me, and listen, I 100% understand the work schedule thing, but to me, if you're a wrestling fan in this area and you don't have some sort of prior engagement,
Yeah,
there's
100%. Go
there's
down.
there's there's absolutely no reason why you shouldn't be there. The card is stacked. The talent is overflowing on this show, and I'm just excited to watch it myself.
Now, for a guy like me, podcasters all around up in the Northeast, we want to see every show packed because
Yeah,
that's what we want to see because we all love the business and we want to see it flourish. Especially now,
absolutely.
wrestling, you must agree, it's on an all-time high right now.
Yeah, I wouldn't say all time high, but
Oh,
it's definitely. I think that having the ability to have so many different outlets for it, especially you got IWTV and the Premier Streaming
yeah.
Network and all these networks that are out there, YouTube. There's so many different ways to find it and to get your fill of wrestling that it keeps people talking about it. Not to
Yeah.
mention, if WWE is doing well, it trickles down to the
It
rest of
trickles down.
us.
That's what I'm saying. Everything's
Um,
cranking on all cylinders, whether it be WWE, even AEW. I've been watching the product recently, and the product's getting a lot better than it was.
yeah,
And it's
and I
just
think
driving the business to the independents right now.
and the partnership between Impact or TNA and
Yeah,
NXT is
NXT.
huge,
And
huge
I
for the
just saw,
business.
and I'm sure you saw Tubi's looking to get into the wrestling business. So
Unbelievable.
it's man, it's
Well,
getting popular.
I happen
People
to
are
know
talking about
someone who's got a product that could work on a
yeah.
streaming service.
Tubi, hello. My name is Arcadia. I want to talk to you.
Yeah, that'd be wild.
Crazy, but good stuff, man. Arcadia, thank you for joining us on the podcast. I'm very excited for you guys this Saturday, and like I said, man, I was hoping to be on, but I will definitely make it to a future show, man.
Yeah, absolutely. And if anyone wants to check in on any of our socials and stuff, we're on Instagram, Constant Wrestling. We're on X or Twitter, whatever it's called these days, Wrestle Constant. And tickets are available. First two rows are sold out already. So let's sell out the whole building.
Want to give a special shout out to Ryan. He just said kill it Saturday, Arcadia.
Thanks, Ryan. Appreciate it.
I appreciate you, Ryan. Let everyone know where they can follow you as well.
So I am on X, Arcadia Burner. I wanted to confuse people. Maybe they thought that it was a burner account, but it's not. It's
It's
really
not.
me. It's
your
not.
handle.
It's really me. And then I'm on Instagram as Arcadia NJ.
All right, awesome.
Like
And
New
definitely
Jersey.
Arcadia will return to the podcast and we'll talk about more about his history and some of his other stuff. And of course, Constant Pro Wrestling. All right, as for me, everybody, tomorrow night I have Bullwhip Ballard coming on, who's making a name for himself in the Mid-South. So he's coming back to the podcast, and he's part of this United Wrestling Alliance that's forming with a whole bunch of promotions down there, and we're going to discuss that and so much more. So I can't wait to have him back. Speaking of Amity, she will be, besides Saturday, she's going to be at Summer of Love 4 on August 3rd, right out here in Selden, New York. So make sure you get your tickets for that. And NYWC is having two events, as they also have Hotter Than Hell on August 24th, which will be the main show for August. As you can see, Notorious Mimi will be there. I'm sure she and Amity will get into it somehow. Yikes. Of course, there's Constant Pro Wrestling this Saturday night. Make sure you show up and show out for this great premiere at the Sayreville High School this Saturday at 7 o'clock, man. A lot of stuff going on. Also, after that, Titan Championship Wrestling presents Seaside Showdown 2 Tidal Wave right at the Beachcomber Bar and Grill, where I will be there 100% hanging out at the boardwalk. And hopefully, Arcadia, this time I don't forget my suntan lotion, because last time I got sunburned.
Oh my god. Well, us fair-skinned people need to remember that stuff. So
Yeah, man. I definitely need
I've
that.
been on the sun a little bit too much this summer already, and I can feel it every time.
Yeah, I was gonna charge Billy for some like ointment or something, 'cause,
Some aloe.
some aloe, something to help me out. All right, Arcadia, hold on for a moment. Everybody, I'll see you back tomorrow night, 8 o'clock with a bullwhip. Have a good night.